Yo, what's going on everybody? Chadley here, and in today's Cyberpunk video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 cyberware that you really need to get your hands on, depending on what kind of build you are running. Some of these that I mentioned, you may be using several of them in just one build. Some of them you might just be using one of in one build. It all kind of depends what you want to be rocking, but for the most part, these cyberware are going to make your life so much easier. And this is anything to do with this cyberware tree at all. So it could be a circulatory system type thing, or it could even be a specific mod for like our ocular systems or whatever. Just anything that has to involve cyberware could be included on this list. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. So first off on this list would be the mantis blades. This seems to be everybody's favorite kind of lethal arm cyberware type thing. And these things just go nuts. Also, I would imagine a lot of people are going down the reflex tree. So you get the blades skill tree, which is going to affect your mantis blades, obviously. And also there's so many things you can do with the mantis blades. You can change their damage types. So right now it's just a physical. I could change it to electrical or even thermal. There's also mods that you can throw on these as well to enhance them. But for the most part, these things are just awesome melee cyberware. You can just run around and slice people. I'm almost one-hitting people. I'm not super spec'd into any sort of blade or mantis blade specific things, but for the most part, they do fairly well. And the only thing I don't really like about the mantis blades is what they just did right there. Sometimes you'll be in the middle of a fight and they'll kind of skewer the enemy and you're kind of stuck there doing nothing while all of the other enemies are shooting at you. So that is something you need to look out for, though, when you are using mantis blades. So coming up next on our list is actually going to be a mod, and that is going to be a mod for our ocular system, and that is trajectory analysis. What this is going to do is increase our headshot bonus damage by 50%, which is amazing, and it's also super easy to get your hands on. All you got to do is go ahead and buy it from Victor, the first Ripper doc that you see at the start of the game underneath your apartment. All you got to do is go talk to him over here. And then I think he sells it for, I believe, like $20,000. And also he sells it every single day. So if you want multiple of them, just go ahead and wait a day and then he'll have another one for you guys to buy. But overall, this mod is fantastic for any sort of gun build. As we can see, we're doing just ridiculous amounts of damage anyways with the pistol stuff. And then you throw on some bonus headshot damage in there as well. You'll be good to go. But this is seriously the case with any sort of gun build. You guys are gonna want to have your hands on this mod. Next up on our list is going to be for all of you hackers out there, and that is just the operating systems for hacking. These things are going to be your go-to. Obviously there's a bunch of different ones, and depending on where you are in the game is going to dictate which one you can get. But in my opinion, the NetWatch NetDriver Mark V is the best one. This thing is going to allow you to upload your offensive quick hacks to 3 targets within a 6-meter radius. And then obviously you're going to get more damage out of your quick hacks, and it also increases the spread distance by 60%. Overall, this is a fantastic offensive operating system. And then we can also throw on 6 quick hacks with this thing. And with this particular build that I'm running right now, I have like no intelligence. Quick hack stuff is actually the next playthrough that I'm going to be doing. But for the most part, this thing still works perfectly fine. So if we take a peek at these enemies right here, we can go ahead and we'll just do like short circuit on these guys. And right there, as you can see, it spread to the different enemies around there. We can also go ahead and just do like synapse burnout or whatever else. As you can see, it's going on both enemies there. And it's just really nice for groups of enemies and being offensive with your quick hacks. So moving down our list, next up is going to be the sandevistan operating systems. My favorite is the Warp Dancer variant. Obviously, there's a bunch of different ones. You can't get this one until later on. I believe you need 18 reflexes to be able to buy this. But anyways, the sandevistans are fantastic for both gun and melee builds because it's going to slow time and also increase your damage. And the slowing time effect on here is actually incorrect. It says slows time by 10%. It actually slows time to 10%. So just keep that in mind. Things are going to be moving very slow. You're really going to have to make sure you're leading your targets with your guns or just shooting at an enemy that's not moving, because you will probably end up missing enemies fairly often if you're at a decent distance. But otherwise, you guys are going to see a 15% damage increase. I have noticed that the crit damage bonus to this thing is not working, at least with my particular build, because I do have a lot of crit chance and crit damage. And I believe there's some sort of crit chance and damage caps in this game. So just keep that in mind. But if you guys don't have any sort of like crit damage in your build, you might be seeing the bonus from this. I'm not 100% sure yet. I have to do more testing. But for the most part, you are going to get a lot of use out of this. And you also get 3 mod slots for this. So we can get like stamina back when we kill an enemy, which is great for your melee portions when you're using this operating system. We can reduce its cooldown, increase its duration, all sorts of good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing in action. So we're going to start with melee and then move over to weapons. But all we got to do is activate it from over here. And then we can just run in and get some free hits on these guys. Now, occasionally it will actually mess up. I don't know if you guys noticed in there, my melee did not work super well. Occasionally you got to do some strong attacks. I don't know if that's a knife specific thing, but my melees have been messing up occasionally in there, but it's not too big of a deal. Now, if we take a peek at the sandevistan with weapons, as we can see, it's going to take a long time for this bullet to actually reach there. That takes several seconds, and I actually ended up missing because his head moves out of the way. So it is a little tough to actually be using this at a distance. So that is something to keep in mind with it. But most of the time you are fairly close. And that's really the only time I would use this is close range, which is another reason why I still think it is better than the Berserker for melee stuff. And also Berserker, you need, I believe it's like 18 body or something like that, at least for the later versions of Berserk. So that's why I do like the sandevistan. Now, our final piece of cyberware, and in my opinion, the most important piece of cyberware that you guys are going to need. You're going to want to get this right away. If you guys saw our 10 things that I wish I knew before I started playing Cyberpunk, you guys are going to know this. But that is the double jump reinforced tendons. This is just absolutely amazing and is a must in my opinion. It's helped me so many times with different engagements and just overall getting around the city. And also, it just makes the game more fun. You're just a parkour master. You guys can also use the fortified ankles if you really want to. I know a couple people who like this a little bit better, but in my opinion, I think double jump is the way to go. Now, it may not seem like a lot because obviously, for example, if we're doing our little XP run over here in Pacifica, we could just run up these stairs if we didn't have double jump, but it saves us so much time in the end, especially when you're doing a lot of loops over here. And so, for example, we kill that group and then we can just double jump our way up here and then we're good to go. That saved us several seconds for sure. And if you're doing this many times, that actually adds up and ends up being a lot of time saved. And this is just one particular example. You guys are going to be using double jump everywhere you go. It is so useful, especially even for like getting down off of things. I can use it to negate some fall damage, which is another reason why I really like double jump over the higher jump. But yeah, overall, definitely go and get the double jump as soon as you possibly can. Yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the top 5 cyberware that you guys are wanting to get your hands on during your playthroughs, depending on what kind of builds you're doing. But for the most part, you will see a use for these in almost any single build, especially the double jump. Get that. I cannot stress that enough. But hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. It really helps me out. If you guys want to see more Cyberpunk content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hopefully I'll catch you guys over on Twitch, but I hope you have a fantastic day and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.